Okay, you lovely lot. So, summer a little bit different to start off with today because it's so flipping cold. We thought we'd show you how to break the ice properly.
This is a very much an opportunist video, isn't it?
It is.
We've got
like,
it.
What can we do? I know, let's go and break the ice.
Yeah.
Right, last night it started freezing. I'm like, yeah, it'd be perfect. And I woke up this morning, because I'm only like 10 minutes from here. It was like cloudy. I'm like, there's not going to be any ice. But luckily, there's a little bit of ice.
Lots and lots of ice, isn't there?
Perfect for what we want to show you. So we're going to break it down into sort of like little component parts. Main things, obviously your icebreakers. Now, Jay's going to do a separate video for when it's not like that thick and
Yeah, two types of ice,
sneaky.
isn't there? There's either smash it to bits ice with what we're going to do first, or we're hoping that there's some a much thinner ice, aren't we? And I'm going to show you a cutlery way, hopefully. But I don't know, focus on this for now. So,
weight-wise, we've got like a little baby weight there. Rich is expertly going to zoom in. It's around probably, I'm going to say about a kilo, something like that, around about 2 pounds.
I mean, you've got two different weights for
two different weights for like, when it's like this, it's about sort of 4 or 5 mil thick, the ice today. Obviously, chain on it and everything.
Talk about why you have the chain. Go on,
right.
Go into it and demonstrate.
So, obviously, weight on the end, bit of a chain, a metre of chain. Now, it's got precisely 14.5 metres of rope on this as well. Because I don't really want to be fishing any further than
right,
that,
I'm going to interrupt here because you're going to make this sound all technical, saying I've got 14. Really, that's how long the rope was.
Yeah.
Isn't it? That's what it is.
I'm like, oh, I like that white rope. You cut me that, mate. How much is there? Well, it's this much. It's exactly 14.5 metres.
Conveniently. Oh, that's
so,
good.
What we're doing, you'll see later when we post our next video, I'll be walloping this out to its full maximum potential. Yeah. And then I'll be using the ice, obviously, to break a nice channel. It's dead important that you have the ice on. If it's not too thick, obviously.
Have the chain on you're on about.
What did I say?
The ice on.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean the chain.
To break ice, the ice is quite vital.
I'm proper excited about ice. I love ice breaking. It's like the best thing in the world ever. So, yeah, having the chain on, to cut a nice channel through the ice.
Yeah.
If you just had rope on it, it doesn't do it proper, or it could get stuck, especially if the ice was thicker, and it sort of like shears it off at different angles.
Yeah. That's what this is about, isn't it? It's doing it in the most efficient way and in the neatest way.
Yeah.
So you aren't left with bits of ice all over the place, isn't it? That's the thing.
100%.
You have to think, there's lots of little things that you're going to talk about before you actually start breaking it that you need to think about.
Yeah.
Just to make sure it's all done nice, all done pretty, and you're quick, isn't it? Just so it's done nice and fast.
Obviously, if there's ice on the water, generally, you might get an extra like 20 minutes, half an hour, mightn't you, sometimes?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I was going to mention that later, but do it now. Where are you with breaking it? When you've drawn, do you want to be first one or last one to break it?
I want to be first one. And obviously, are we talking about clothing and all that, yeah?
We'll do that in a minute.
Yeah, no, I want to be first one there, and then I want to go and get my butchers and all that, get my gear, so all the fish have settled in my peg.
So you do, you try and be the first one to break it?
You've got to be first, surely.
I don't know how much it bothers them. I don't know. Depends what you're fishing for.
No,
F1s.
You're being too technical. How dare you be technical with ice breaking, Jamie?
Yeah.
Right, come on, stop putting me off. Right, what is very, very important, folks, is gloves. You must have gloves.
Massive,
now, if you're only sort of like, only like dead thin ice and, you know, you're not throwing it in loads of times, you might not need them. But, you know, when you're sort of like, you've got to put them on.
It's rope,
like,
innit? It's rope. I'm throwing chains.
The amount of times I've come back like, oh, why are my hands hurting? Like blisters everywhere. Proper smarts, folks. So get some gloves.
Yes.
Right, so onto the other weight. That's a heavy weight. I'm going to say that's about £5, that one. Yeah. So potentially not getting it out as far, but if obviously the ice is thicker, you do need a heavier weight. So I think I've got like 12 metres of rope on this one, Jay.
You can't throw it any further. That one, so it's all right.
You can't throw that any further.
Yeah.
And Jay, you know, Jay always has these little tips in that, and I'm usually about like 2 or 3 years, you know, getting onto things, so I'm stubborn. I've never actually used a petrol can, folks. I've always used a proper icebreaker, like get down to the bottom, stirring it all up, because I'm convinced that's what attracts the fish in, the colour in the water.
I don't like that. I like stirred up
different.
I like stirred up for silvers. I don't like it for F1s and carp.
Really?
Yeah. I'm a big one. Snake legs, I never want it, me breaker to hit the bottom. So even when I throw it in, I don't.
See what I mean? It's like learning all the time.
Bit of both.
But yeah, so obviously the petrol can, you're like half filling it and it brings the ice back towards you.
That's why I like petrol can. But you need them first. We're going to talk about that when we do it.
Yeah.
Get your lines, your guidelines in first.
Yeah.
What's that?
What was that? More in.
I'm having that.
Good.
Get your guidelines in first and then start petrol can in it. Because if you just go straight in with petrol can, it just obliterates everything. But yeah, it draws the ice back to you. That's a key thing.
I'm going to try that, because what I normally do, break it with that, and then I'll get like an older pole out, and then go on with a top kit with a pole pot on, bring it back, and then you can fold the bits of ice underneath, like the rest of the ice, if you like, and then just get the rest out with a long landing net handle, 4 metre handle, old landing net, and then just scoop the rest of the ice out.
We'll see.
But
We'll have a
I'm
play.
interested to see this.
Yeah, bit of both. But that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So remember, gloves, and you need your chain on for when it's a little bit thicker.
Yes, that is the kit required.
Before we get ice breaking, I've chosen my ice breaker. I've gone for the little babby one because it's not that thick.
Nice and thin in it. It's like, what is it?
4 mil, I'd say.
4 or 5 mil?
Yeah, 4 or 5 mil. Just
Quite
do a little
thin.
quick tester, just see how thick it is. If it doesn't go through, then you know you need big babby one. You need that one over there.
Bouncers, just go home.
Right, so gloves are on, but what I want to stress is a couple of things. First thing is, once you've drawn your peg, as we said before, I want to be the first one to break my ice. Now, what I don't want to do, you'll notice I've not got all my gear on yet.
Massive.
Because you get so warm. If you get all your gear on,
Yeah.
later on in the session you start sweating
Cold.
and it's like, I've been poorly so many times.
Yeah.
So go, like, sometimes if the sun's out and it does get a bit warm, you can go with a t-shirt on, you know what I mean?
Like,
You don't need to get, do
No,
you?
whatever it takes to not sweat, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
So
As soon as you sweat, bad in the winter with ice.
First tip, it's a massive one, that, Jay.
Yeah.
So make sure, obviously, you know, use your appropriate footwear. If there's ice on your pegs and all that, make sure you wear nice grippy trainers or grippy welly bobs or anything like that. Next thing is, consider where the sun's going. Obviously, it's cloudy today, it's not an issue, but ice and bright weather, sun go hand in hand usually. So
Yeah.
you've got to consider where the sun is, and it can be an absolute nightmare to see your float when it's reflecting,
Reflecting.
off the ice. So if the sun's always goes sort of like that way, so what you want to make sure you're doing is breaking the ice more to your left, so it gives you that chance to see. You know what I mean?
Just avoid where the sun's
talk
going
through
to
it
be.
so it's simpler for the lovely lot, Jay. What do I mean, mate?
Yeah, just avoid the sun. If the sun's there, break that way. Just
Yeah.
avoid it.
Do you know what I mean? How
Work out where
simple
it's
is
gonna
that?
be.
Why can't I say simple
As
things?
well as the sun, same thing. Today's sexy as, because it's all
Oh,
white
mate,
water.
Yeah.
But you've got to break to where you can see your float as well. This time of year, the worst thing you can do is break like in line with an oak tree, thinking, oh, I've got a good marker.
Yeah.
But when you've got a tree without leaves on,
It's horrible when it's
Oh,
mottled
you
and
can't
just
see nothing.
anything. No,
so
can't see
pick your spots. You know, ideally pick up your white water, your white areas.
Yeah.
They're the ones to break in. If the
Definitely.
sun isn't a problem.
No, definitely.
But they're the two things in it.
Yeah,
And
I
what
reckon so.
I was going to say as well.
Come on, Jay, lad.
Today, open water, silvers. One big channel.
Right, yeah.
If we were on Snake Lakey and we're up against an island, you do it a bit different, don't you? You break like several channels.
Yeah, because you want to like get the edges in and all
Yeah,
that.
you want to keep the ice as cover, but you'll go to 2 different areas, so you need to think about that.
Yeah.
Today, because it's silvers and open water, it doesn't matter, does
we
it?
just want sort of like a big, I'm going to
Big
make,
square.
I don't know what, I'm going to say like 6 metres, something like that, maybe a little bit wider.
Yeah.
I've got my markers that I want to weigh them at. One's at the end of this like little weedy planty thing, and then the other one's sort of like towards the edge of the island. So we'll have 6 metres. I'm going to hopefully do three chucks, one on sort of that right hand edge, one on the left hand edge, come straight back with my chain, and
Yeah.
one right down the middle, and then hopefully that'll
The
break
middle
any
one's
ice up.
just to help up break it, isn't it?
Yeah. If it doesn't, then I'll just go in, you know.
Well, what I
little
want
bit
you to do,
further.
I want you to do them and that,
Yeah.
and I reckon the ice is pretty perfect for cutting,
Yeah.
and then I think that's when you want a petrol can.
To like bring the ice.
Because you
towards
go
it.
halfway on that one, halfway on that one, bring the ice, get rid of it, and then do the same.
Yes.
That's
'cause
the perfect square.
What I have done in the past, but I don't think the ice is thick enough today, is done what I've said, break the 3 channels out,
Yeah.
and then sort of like gone across the one in the middle
An
with an
angle of
angle,
an angle.
and then bring it in. But I don't think the ice will be thick enough for
No,
that.
I don't think
'Cause
it
I think
will.
the weight will like break up even more.
Yeah.
But that's where then I'll get me sort of like older pole out with a pole pot on,
Tap
and
it
go and
away.
tap it out that
That's
way.
what
and bring
you
it
want
towards
big
you.
pieces, don't you? Not
Yeah.
smashed to oblivion. You want big pieces that you can push into bloke next to you's peg.
Yes,
under
please.
the ice. But no, you can push under the ice and then out the way in it with minimal
Yeah.
effort.
Definitely.
Go on, I'm gonna let
Should we
you.
get going?
Yeah, let's smash it.
Right, let's get going. So, first things first, I'm actually standing on the rope. It's got a loop in it, standing on the rope. Hopefully I don't go whoops and go on my back in a minute. But it's only a little babby weight, so we shouldn't do. I hope it goes through it, Jay.
It's gonna fly through.
So, right, first one is I want to be sort of like on the right-hand edge of that little floating islandy thing. There's nowhere near. I might have slipped then.
That was
But
all right, though.
That can be all right for the left-hand edge. So, this is what I want to get across now. So we're going to come over here,
Oh yeah, a little bit of an angle of the dangle.
a little bit of an angle, and you can see that chain cutting through it, which is perfect. Here we
Yeah,
go.
but this ice is perfect.
This is what we want. I reckon you get away with that cutter.
No, not quite. But we'll see.
It might be up there. So you can see
This is
how
perfect.
easy it is with that chain on.
You want to let it go, don't you? Sometimes let it all go, flick your chain back in,
yeah.
just to use the chain in it.
Yeah, if you pulled up too hard,
you don't want it bouncing out.
Your weight's going to be on the edge. You know what I mean? So we've got that line there.
Like, that was perfect. Like, actually perfect, wasn't it?
It was for that one. I wasn't aiming there though, Jay.
But it's still the way it cut it.
Blooming aiming there. Right, so what we want to do now is get that rope.
You're going to go to the right of it.
I'm going to go to the right of it. I'm going to get that rope so it's perfect. And hopefully I'll get it accurate this time. Right, let's go a little bit more this way then. That's better. That's what we want. That's professional. So we'll get the same over here. Oh, that is lovely. So you see how easy it is with that chain on, folks, yeah?
Yeah.
If you just had the rope on, it wouldn't cut through it. Your weight would come up to the top and bounce off the ice, wouldn't it?
That is beautiful, Andrew.
This is why you need gloves on, folks, as well. That's it. Right,
now what are you thinking? What do you do now?
One.
Up middle of it?
One right down the middle now.
Tell you what, if the way this lands though,
yeah,
with how thick it is, I reckon you could land in the middle now and it might split either side and give you the sexiest big chunks ever to deal with this.
Could do, mate, it could do.
It's got a chance on it.
Hopefully we're going to get it right down the middle. Just make sure, obviously, when you're going to chuck it, it's not snagged on anything, because I have been known to
have a nice loosey rope in it.
Got to have it nice loosey. Lefty loosey, righty tighty.
Ooh, yeah.
Like that. It's not bad. We can get away with that by coming this way a little bit.
I'd bring that back down the last channel. I wouldn't recut that. You're just going to smash it. Oh, I like that.
So I've got too big. Oh, see, that's what we don't want. Well, it's where the ice is a little bit thicker there. That's what we don't want. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to chuck it back down the hole there.
Oh yeah, that's gone, that's gone, that's gone.
That's it. There we go. So what I've got now, in effect, you see this big...
It's a big piece in it.
Big piece coming towards me now. I've got two big pieces. Obviously, there's going to be little babby pieces as well.
Before you chuck it, we're going to get rid of this big one.
Yeah, I reckon so, mate.
Go on. So what I'm going to do with my landing net is literally get right on the edge of the ice here. Where's the edge?
You getting it?
Yeah, I've got him.
Yeah?
Let me get it right in, and I want to push it underneath that ice. So see that there?
You getting on, Rich? Look at that.
Oh, he's gone on top, but just as good. That's a massive big chunk we got rid of now that I ain't got to worry about.
Yeah, boy!
Look at that. That's all them little pieces that aren't going to be in me peg, being a pain in the arse.
Go on the ice, big!
Oh, broke a bit then.
We'll sort that out later. Sort that out later, Jay lad.
That's a big chunk in it.
I need to get one more.
At the back of that.
I need to get one more on that little bit more to the left. My throwing's horrendous today. Actually, no, it's not too bad. I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, it's all right.
I'm happy with that. Right. Let's go. Right down middle, Jay lad. I like it over that edge, don't I?
You're being a bit rubbish.
That's all right. It's broke up that big one though.
It's another big chunk though, isn't it? Oh, and you get rid of that bit while you're there. I like that.
This blooming rope's heavy.
This is where I should be here scooping now, with landing it head on. Getting rid of that, I reckon, before you chuck it.
What's that, mate?
Clear this before you chuck that, or are we going for it now?
No, let's just chuck it.
Yeah,
That's
boy.
better.
See how that broke it as well then? So
here we go.
That's the one.
This is what we want.
He's going under of his own accord, that one.
So if you can, folks, guide it under. Look at that, gone.
Beautiful.
So all we've got left with there now is just a few little babby bits to bring back, and that's why I'll use a pole. So what I'll be doing next is going out with a pole pot on my pole and just bringing them back towards me. But you reckon a petrol can, Jay?
A petrol can, just for looking after pole, innit?
You showed a petrol can then?
Yeah, we're doing petrol can now. Well, petrol can ain't hard. It's as it says on tin.
Jay, come on, mate. I'll make anything look hard, you know what I mean?
So what I want to do first, put a little bit of water in it, because he's empty. And he's a nice shiny one. He's not ever been used for petrol.
Shiny! Do you need gloves for this as well, J-Lo?
Yeah, gives you gloves. Not a lot, just enough to give it some weight.
What, like a quarter to half or something?
However you think much you need to throw it, whatever you need to throw it.
And this is purely to bring the ice back towards you. And obviously, if it was that thick, you'd use that anyway. You wouldn't have even gone in with it.
You've still got to do your slices.
Right.
Yeah, because otherwise it just annihilates the lot. So we want the slices done with your chain. That were beautiful for it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That ice were perfect.
Yeah.
But then once that's done, what I can do is throw it either corner.
Nice.
And what he does is bring it all back. See that?
Ah, right. That's a bit quicker, isn't it?
Yeah. So a couple of goes, and it just brings it all. You've still got to deal with it here, but it clears all your ice. It brings it towards you.
So on this one, folks, I'm definitely not going to be stubborn like I am with blooming rigs and that, not listening. I'm having one of these. Yeah, boy. That's it, all the ice is here now.
Yeah,
perfect.
Man. It only takes a couple, doesn't it? One each side.
Yeah.
Scoop it all out, see how it's coming? It's all coming.
Perfect.
But it's nice, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It clears it dead quick.
I like that, how it's brought it all back towards you. So literally all it is a case of now, it's going in with a landing net and scooping it out.
It is lovely, nice, easy, quick. So as a little bonus one, because the plan was to go over there and demonstrate this, but it's too thick and I'll end up smashing my poles. So while Andrew is getting ready for the feature that we are about to do, where he's going to extract some, what are you going to catch? Roaches and perches and skimmeries from this lovely created ice hole that we've made. I want to show you another way of breaking the ice, and that if it is lovely, delicate, 1 mil thick stuff, the stuff that just shatters if you try to throw anything into it, and that is with the use, again, of Lee Murphy's cutters, which have been phenomenal you've used them a couple of times this year, haven't you? Richard has been ice-breaking king this year, when it's right. Obviously, if it's too thick, don't be a dick, don't try it, it'll smash your pole to bits. It's not going to be right, as it is in today's case. But if that ice is lovely and thin, just literally tapping that cutter in and pulling it towards you, making sure, of course, your pole is taped up. Well worth doing. Tape up every section with a quick bit of electrical tape, just to make sure everything's looked after. You didn't do that, did you? Let's not go there. But yeah, tape your sections up, make sure they're all safe. The easiest way ever of breaking ice, if it's lovely and perfectly thin, like 1 mil, 2 mil at the very most. Lee's cutters have been phenomenal for that. And it's just a case, we say, of one slice, another slice, and then I swap to that one, which is my flat blade, and with the bottom edge, I literally, for me 2 cuts that I've made, just tap it along the far edge, and then you've got a big square to sheet of ice that you can pull towards yourself and deal with all up this side sort of thing, if you like. So I'll keep my pole attached to it, not like I did then. Keep my pole attached to it, draw it towards me, but at the same time, with me landing net, break little bits of ice off, push them under, bring it back to me, push them under. That is the perfect way of breaking a hole without any debris floating anywhere in. And another sneaky little tip for ice breaking, but the ice has got to be right. What?
Make it on the curve.
And a curves. You can't do a curve with it. Just set up, come on.
Yeah. What are we doing, Rich?
That was the nod.
We've got the nod.
That was the work
I like
monkeys.
the nod. We need one of them.
Do we?
Do you get a lot of dust sensor? I've just got J-Lad and a lot of concrete dust on it, mate. No, it's,
Right.
only concrete.
Come on, where are we going?
Oh, right, okay, so